Hi,
Welcome, Daniele.
Stefania. Hi,
It's great to
Stefania.
have you with us.
Thank you.
And my
Thank
first
you.
question for you is, how is Scavolini contributing to a more sustainable future? Because after all, sustainability is an overused word, but I want to know from you, how do you translate that concept into practice?
Stefania, what Scavolini has been doing for 60 years is working with an eye to the protection of the environment. And comes from the founder, Walter and Elvino Scavolini. They have this very tight connection with their territory. And so when they opened the factory in the 60s, they wanted to have the lowest impact in terms of noise and dust, pollution. And that was before the environment was becoming mainstream and a movement. And then of course, this practice that was just a way of handling their business changed, shifted when in the 90s the environment became a big topic and a big movement. So Scavolini, the approach of Scavolini to this topic came from a thought that Walter Scavolini shared with his management. And he said, but why, when we were poor, there was no waste? And now that we are rich, we have all this garbage and we produce so much waste. There's another way to do things. And so what they did, they started a planning. And building cabinets is complicated. So what they did, they divided they approached this problem two different ways. So one was the system, the production and the management, and the product. So in terms of management, what they did early 2000, they were the first one building a vertical warehouse where 7 robots moves items in thousands of cells. So it was the same system used in the garment industry, but they were the first one to apply it to the large scale heavy product. And that of course made all the operation more efficient and faster and cleaner. Then the second big investment has been the photovoltaic system that has been built on the roof of the companies. We are talking about over 50,000 square feet of panels, and this gives autonomy to the factory, which is a kilometer long. So we are talking about a large, facility. And when this energy is not enough, they buy only certified green energy coming from the hydroelectric power plants. So that is a big commitment that they have. In terms of product, instead, every cabinet, every product that we build is made using a panel that is called HydroLab. It's the only panel certified worldwide as a green panel, and is made of 100% post-consumer recycled wood. This, of course, is a big step ahead. There is the lowest formaldehyde emission. Every component, paints and glue, they have always the lowest VOCs. But of course, eco-design, especially when you create a new product, it cannot be with zero emission. And you have to have a balance between sustainability and performance. Because of course, if you are using something that then doesn't last, and one of the characteristics of our product is the lifespan, because that's part of being a product sustainable. And we have a lab, and we are estimate that our product at least lasts for 25 years. And there is a kind of circularity of our product, a second life, let's say. So basically, our product can be reused for new product or to create energy up to 96%, while the production waste is reused 95%, which is a big achievement for a company of our size. We are talking about the largest that we have, like one of the largest in Italy. And that is a big achievement.
Daniele, I know you're not alone today. Introduce us to your guests.
Yes, because as I said, we need to have not just the Italians talk about the beauty and the performance of our product, but we need to have the voice of the visionary, the architects and designers that love our product, they specs our product, and they made our business successful. So I have with me a long friend, Andres Escobar. He's the partner, principal architect for LeMay and Escobar, and we have worked together for many, many years, and beautiful project, multi-unit projects, and he's the one that represents these, this group, thousands of architects and artists and visionaries that use our product here in the US. Thank you so much for taking the time, Andres.
Thank you for having me. It's really a great pleasure to be part of this. As Daniele said, I mean, we have a long relationship with Scavolini. We have completed thousands of units, both in New York City, in Canada, and in South Florida. We were very fortunate to have had the opportunity to visit Scavolini, the Scavolini factory in Pesaro, on the previous Fiera di Milano. And I was very impressed, not only about their product, not only about the quality, not only about their aesthetic, but also when visiting the plant, the way that they do research and development is quite an achievement. I was very impressed with the vertical storage that Daniele mentioned. Is extremely incredible, seeing how it operates and how it utilizes the least amount of energy and gives it totally respectful to the environment. So we have done a lot of projects with them. We have a very good relationship. They're actually very committed as a company, not only the product, and the product has inherent characteristics that not all the other manufacturers have. Like they have a waterproofing substrate, which is very unique in the industry. And a lot of people are not aware of this, but when you're doing multifamily, you have to be careful as to how is it going to perform, how is it going to age, so on and so forth. So to Daniela's point, I mean, the product, the materials, the finishing is quite spectacular. So we actually have done several projects and very successful, and the brand is very well regarded in the industry, and it resonates. It not only resonates with individuals, but actually with developers and with a larger group of professionals. So I'm very pleased, and not only with Scavolini. I mean, I have relationship with a multitude of Italian manufacturers, from furniture to cabinetry, so on and so forth, lighting. So I'm quite familiar, and companies like Giorgetti, companies like Menotti, companies like Fendi, so on and so forth. So we are quite familiar, and we basically endorse this product because of the quality and the inherent design that comes along with it. So it basically adds value to our projects.
Mr. Escobar, I have a question for you. You partially answered to the question I prepared, which was what made in Italy products allow you to deliver. You said quality and great design. So my next question is, can you give us a sense of the impact of the construction industry on the environment and what can be done to protect it?
Absolutely. I think that most of the companies have adopted these sustainability approach to buildings. Our company, for one, is one of our pillars. Sustainability is one of our pillars, and actually our headquarters is net positive, not net zero, net positive. What that means is that we actually generate sufficient energy to operate totally independent from the grid. Most of the projects that we started doing in the United States, mainly in New York City, back in the early 2000s, they had a certain amount of sustainability. I mean, LEED certification was in the embryonic stages, but the city of New York and many of the developers had adopted this sustainable approach to the buildings. And over and above, having gone through this pandemic that affected pretty much the entire world, is becoming that much more important, you know. And what makes a building green is not only the methods of construction, which obviously are very important, the recycled content of the materials, but also the air quality on the buildings. So everything has been taken into consideration, and most of the buildings today have a certain component. Some places are still in the embryonic stages of this new wave. However, here in New York City, it has become part and parcel of the majority of the projects. In fact, some people would not move to a building that doesn't have a certain amount of content or a certain amount of certification when it comes to a LEED certification, because people now equate that certification to a better standard of living.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much both.